Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. The New York Times reports a group of American advisors led by a small State Department team played an integral part in drawing up contracts between the Iraqi government and 5 major Western oil companies to develop some of the largest oil fields in Iraq. The disclosure marks the first confirmation of direct involvement by the Bush administration in deals to open Iraq's oil to commercial development. The Times recently reported the original partners in the Iraq Petroleum Company, ExxonMobil, Shell, Total, and BP, as well as Chevron, are on the verge of getting no-bid contracts to service Iraq's largest oil fields. In their role as advisors to the Iraqi oil ministry, American government lawyers and private sector consultants provided template contracts and detailed suggestions on drafting the contracts.
And today, gas prices again hitting a record high. According to the AAA, the nationwide average is now just shy of $4.09 a gallon. Meantime, Iraq's massive oil reserves, among the world's largest, have been left relatively untapped since the war began 5 years ago. Back then, remember that, a barrel of oil cost about 1/5 of what it does today. NBC's Richard Engel tells us Iraq's oil business is now on its way back.
In Kirkuk this weekend, Iraqis work to expand the giant northern oil fields. With violence down, oil production here is at record levels.
It's taking off like a rocket ship, it really is.
The Iraqi government said it was open for business, announcing it will accept bids from at least 35 firms, including major U.S. companies, to upgrade 6 of Iraq's richest oil fields. The U.S. companies were expelled from Iraq in 1972 when the government nationalized the oil industry. Now they appear set to return. Iraq produces about 2.4 million barrels a day. Iraqi officials want to nearly double that in 5 years.
But it's clear that there's a great deal of oil in Iraq, and only about 20% of the potential oil-bearing structures have actually been explored. So there's a lot of work to be done to determine how much oil Iraq really has.
The Iraqi government claims its reserves are as large as Saudi Arabia, the world's leading oil exporter. But analysts say U.S. consumers shouldn't expect to quickly see lower gas prices because of Iraq. And it's unclear how much U.S. involvement Iraq will accept. The Iraqi government still has to decide whether it will allow foreign companies to drill and explore for oil.
Let me ask you a question. Could you make it 69 lots?
Even so, at New York energy trading firms like MF Global, Iraq is now seen as a possible profit center.
U.S. officials said Iraq's oil would pay for the war. Could they end up being correct?
There's certainly going to be enough oil revenue generated to pay for this war and to even take care of Iraqis for generations to come.
But critics say the possible return of big U.S. oil companies only reinforces the impression that the United States went to war for oil.
Okay, Richard Engel reporting. Time now for our must-read opinion.